Got a new story for you today. But first I want to ask you, do you have any pets? Maybe you have a cat, maybe you have a bird, maybe you have a guinea pig, maybe you have a dog. Well, today's story is about an amazing dog. The title of today's story is Martha Blah Blah. I wonder why it's called Blah Blah. We're going to find out. Hope you enjoy it. Martha Blah Blah. Martha Blah Blah, written and illustrated by Susan Meddaugh, published by Houghton Mifflin Company. Dedication for 3 J's, 1 D, and Cisco. Today's book is a little bit different. I will need to read aloud some of the things that are in the speech bubbles that Martha is thinking or saying, and I will also need to read aloud some of the translations when things get a little weird in this book. Martha was always a great communicator. Sad, happy, mad. But when she ate alphabet soup, the letters went up to her brain instead of down to her stomach. And Martha spoke words. Isn't it time for my dinner? Martha loved letters. She loved words. At last, now I can say I'm hungry. Let's eat. Make mine steak. And let me out. Let me in. Let me out. Let me in. So Martha's family gave her a bowl of alphabet soup every day. Martha never missed a meal. Having words opened up a world of possibilities for Martha. All the employees at the local Burger Boy knew her well. Welcome to Burger Boy. May I take your order? 10 plain burgers, no sauce, no buns. And the neighborhood dogs depended on her. Gus says he's sorry about the steak, but dogs will be dogs. Of course, Martha couldn't help but notice how much her family enjoyed having a talking dog. How special they thought she was. What an amazing dog! Yes, she is. That's my dog. What breed is she? Great day for a run. Where's the stick? Look, a talking dog. Yeah, right. There was someone else who loved letters as much as Martha. Alf Abbott was the A man at Granny's Soup Company. He made all the A's that went into alphabet soup. Alf loved his job, and he was good at it. He assumed he would always have it. Unfortunately, the new owner of Granny's Soup Company, Granny Flo, had other ideas. Granny Flo was looking at a portrait of the founder, Granny Elsie, when she made an important business decision. Why do we need all those letters? This is soup, not school. But she was really thinking, fewer letters mean bigger profits, which means she'd make more money. So Granny Flo summoned her 26 alphabeticians and began to draw letters from a hat. 13 alphabeticians were suddenly out of work. One of them was Alf. Bye-bye, B. Sayonara, S. Toodaloo, T. Adios, A. Within a week, cartons of the new soup went out to local supermarkets. No one will even notice the difference, thought Granny Flo. Here's what the can used to look like. Granny's alphabet soup, every letter in every can. Here's what it looks like now. Granny's alphabet soup, letters in every can. All they did was leave out one word, pretty tricky. But several days later, after finishing her bowl of alphabet soup, Martha said, "Go-oop-oh," which means good soup today. What did you say? Asked Ellen. I go-oop, which means I said good soup. Helen giggled. How embarrassing, thought Martha. Must be a touch of laryngitis. But it wasn't laryngitis. Strange sounds continued to come from Martha's mouth all day. Oh, Ugh, which means something is wrong. Woggle, which means my words are gone. Woof, which means woof. The next day wasn't any better. Hog you hog, which means, hello, Gus has a short message. But the other caller said, what did you call me? At the drive-thru, ugh, 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 which means I'd like 10 burgers. Burgers, burgers. So I guess you don't want a burger? Martha ate bowl after bowl of alphabet soup, but it was no use. Nothing she said made any sense at all. I'm afraid Martha is losing her ability to speak, said Helen's mother. Ooh, goo, which means no good. Oh no, thought Martha. She couldn't imagine not being able to talk. No more Burger Boy? No more telephone calls? Just another dog scratching on the door to go out. Somebody let the dog out. And what would her family think if Martha lost her letters? It's your turn to walk the dog. Not me. I did it last week. What dog? I couldn't stand that, thought Martha, and she went outside. She walked down the street, away from home, mumbling to herself. Wogo, which means my words are gone. Wogo, which means where did they go? Who, Wogo, which means what to do, my words are gone. Martha had wandered for several hours when a familiar aroma reminded her that she had missed something important. Uppo, which means soupson. She followed her nose, and her nose led her directly to Alf Abbott's kitchen, where Alf was heating up a can of soup. Check out the can. Come in, said Alf, who missed his friends from the soup company. He poured Martha a big bowl of alphabet soup. Martha ate her soup happily, but without expectations, while Alf just gazed at the bowl in his lap. There it is, he said, a perfect A. And look at that L. Boy, Lou sure had a way with pasta. Alf continued to admire each letter in his soup until Martha was almost asleep, lulled by the sweet sound of vowels and consonants. Then Alf said in the saddest voice, my last can of real alphabet soup. It's just not the same since Granny left out half the letters. What did you say? The words came out of Martha's mouth perfectly clearly. Martha didn't know whether to laugh or growl. To Alf's absolute astonishment, she started to sing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I have all 26. There are soup cans to be fixed. Then she said, where's Granny? Uh-oh. Looks like Martha is headed to Granny's soup company. I wonder what she's going to do. Martha found Granny Flo in her office. She got right to the point. You broke your promise. Granny Flo turned angrily in her chair, but all she could see was Granny Elsie looking right at her. Granny Flo was terrified. Did you speak? She asked the portrait in a small voice. Check out the promise that is written under the portrait. Every letter in every can, said Martha from behind the desk. You promised. But it was good for business, said Granny Flo to the portrait. Good soup is your business, said Martha. Put all the letters back in the soup. Granny Flo made the first of 13 calls from beneath her desk. She began with A, of course. Hello, Alf? What would people do without dogs? Martha was feeling better in every way, when suddenly she heard familiar voices calling her name. Then her whole family was hugging her and talking at the same time. They were saying wonderful things. Martha, our Martha! Where have you been? We've been looking for hours. When you missed dinner, we were so worried. You never miss a meal. Are you hungry? We'll fix you a burger at home. And all before Martha could even say a word. So what did you think of Martha? I have a dog too, but she doesn't speak. Her name's Molly. I'll show you a little bit of what she can do really well. But before I do, I want you to know if you enjoyed this book, there are 2 more Martha books. One called Martha Speaks and another one called Martha Calling. Look in your library. See if you can find them. You might enjoy them just as well. Now here's a little bit of my dog Molly doing what she does best. Good girl, Molly. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Ready? She never quits. She loves to play fetch.